Hello, you have reached the Nye County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency or if you are an alarm company, press 1. General information about the Nye County Sheriff's Office can be obtained at www.nyecountysheriffsoffice.com. Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed. For the Records Department or Civil Division, press 2. For the Nye County Detention Center, press 3. To leave a message for a deputy or animal control officer, press 4. For non-emergency dispatch, to report an animal problem, or to confirm a warrant, press 5. For employment questions or staff complaints, press 6. For questions about death certificates, press 7. For a complete listing of Nye County Sheriff's Office extensions, press 8. For other Nye County phone numbers, press 9. Welcome to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Records Department. If you are trying to reach the Nye County Sheriff's Office Dispatch or other division, press 1. If you have general questions about records, fingerprint cards, work and weapons permits, or civil fees, including garnishments and service of documents, general requests for reports, or a general records inquiry, you can use the contact form on our website at www.nyecountysheriffsoffice.com and select the Records Civil tab. For civil, to include information about garnishments or service of documents, but not copies of reports, fingerprint cards, work and weapons permits, press 2. For records, which include copies of reports, fingerprint cards, work and weapons permits in the Prump and Beatty office, press 3. For records, which include copies of reports, fingerprint cards, work and weapons permits in the Tonopah office, press 4.
We have not received a valid response. Please try again. We have not received a valid response.
Nye County Sheriff's Office, this is Julie. How can I help you?
Hello, Julie. I was trying to contact the civil department, but I don't think I got the right extensions. And anyways, I really like to just maybe speak with Sergeant Means or Captain Berkowitz.
Okay, so I'm in civil. What's going on?
There was an attack by some bootlickers by counter-protesters on protesters in Gabbs, Nevada, and there was a couple reports filed, but the district attorney doesn't seem. The district attorney seems to be sleeping on the complaints due to personal, private reasons, seeking private gain. There's been some other instances that have happened, and there was an instance where a TPO was issued against Linda Seeger, and then this morning I was just going through different things about filing injunctions and this and that for these public service agents using the public service injunction to stop people from protesting, which is an act of private gain by a public service agent. And I was just trying to figure out what was going on. This thing says what not to do if there is a restraining order against you, and there's only 4 what nots to do. And the fourth one is trying to get around a restraining order, such as if you have children with the plaintiff visiting your children at school or at a relative's house where the plaintiff would likely also be. And as soon as my little sister got the restraining order, the lady that the restraining order was on was down at the school mingling around. Everybody was all the public service agents were letting her just do whatever she wanted on her little restraining order that she had, and everybody in Nye County Sheriff's Department's acting like, oh yeah, this is just that's how it is. That's how we would treat you. That's not how they would treat us if we had it. But I'm looking into lawyer shit, and I'm gonna be filing a demand letter against the entire district attorney's office.
Okay, so I do apologize because when you said civil, I thought you meant like serving someone an order or like a summons and complaint. I'm going to transfer you to Captain Barikowitz, just so you can speak to him. And I do apologize that I misunderstood what you were looking for, okay?
No problemo. You know, you've been way helpful. You know. Well, your name was Julie again?
Yes, my name is Julie.
Okay, yeah. I'll be putting in an accommodation for you. You're not you're unlike Nye County staff.
All right, well, you have a good day, and I'll transfer you now, okay?
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
Berkowitz,
Hey, Mr. Berkowitz, how you doing?
I'm good.
I was going over some legal documentation and seeing some of the things I could do lawfully, and I was looking into injunctions and this and that, and stopping of injunctions, especially unlawful injunctions, unlawfully used injunctions, injunctions used overbroad of the intended usages. And I came across this what not to do if there is a restraining order against you, and this lawyer has four things. It says destroying evidence that might be that you may be believed harmful to your case, trying to talk to the plaintiff, disobeying a temporary restraining order, and then number 4, there's only 4 of them, trying to get around a restraining order, such as if you have children with the plaintiff visiting your children at school. It's like the 4th one. It's there's only 4 of these things, so it's like it's like the top one that you don't do when you have a restraining order is go to the school and try to visit all the kids at the school, acting like you don't have like you have a reason to be there and this and that, and like that's what Nye County is allowing that lady to do. And I just wanted to let you or Mr. Means understand that it's plain as day what the fuck is happening, and all I'm asking is that Nye County do what's right, you know.
Okay, well, the bottom line is the school said that she was there for the
Well, I know
purpose
what you
that they
say,
feel
but I don't
wanted
need
her
your
to be there.
explanation. That's okay, Mr. Berkowitz. You don't have to explain to me like that. You could just say, well, you know, we're looking into the matter still, and something will be
We're
done.
not. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, you're
Mr.
not,
Rose.
but that's all right. I don't need you to lie to me. I don't need you to
to
whatchamacallit to me either, Mr. Berkowitz. You're cool, dude. I don't have no, you know, I'm not. I'm just saying, but you're.
That's why I'm giving you the answer so you understand. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you we're still looking into it when we're not.
Yeah, I just wanted you to understand it's not an acceptable answer.
I understand your position, and you have some legal remedies relating to that.
No, I have lawful
That is-
remedies, but you know, that's like the injunction, or that's like the intent letters that are going to be sent out.
Right. That is your way of handling that, unfortunately.
Yeah. You know, Mr. Berkowitz, one time I was in the Nye County Jail in the Pahrump office, and you came in and said something to the effect to all the jailers, or all the people that was in jail, if you don't like the treatment here at Nye County Detention Center or whatever it was that you said, that you could sue us and stuff. And I was just, you know, I think of you as a really good guy. You know, I've heard stories about you and this and that, but some of these stories are human stories and everything, and can be like, what do you call that? Like there's an obvious human defense for some of these little stories about you, you know. But for all intents and purposes, I think you're a good guy, and I think that you just are doing, you know, what you have to do on a day-to-day basis. But what I want you to understand is that, you know, you have an ability to go above and beyond, you know, and the discretion being shown by Nye County Sheriff's Department is not something that happened in this one instance. It's something that's stemming back for at least since 2010. I have documentation at least from 2010. All of this stuff, blah blah blah, has to be used in this and that. But right now, what I'm doing by calling you is seeking, somebody that has the perfect opportunity to do what is right, and is, in all intents and purposes, failing to do that. And that's not to say you're a bad guy.
And I know you think I have more power than
Yeah,
I
but
do,
you're saying I
I'm
think.
not.
But listen, okay, when it comes down to it, okay, oh man, I had a ton of shit pulled up, but I want to pull this up because it says about even thinking, when it comes to public service as a public trust. What was that what was that? What were we talking with the P word last night? That it was that we were looking about how it was that the public service was a public trust, and requiring employees, service agents in that uh, you know what were we looking over last night when it was that the Nevada ethics was that the Nevada ethics code? That's a good one to bring up for this, talking with Mr. Berkowitz. Nevada ethics code. Let me just put, I got this thing right here in front of me right here. I got this thing, I wrote this for one, use of county services by service agents to deprive the public of liberty, and the usage of public services where a right to equal protection under the law is duty bound to be not only offered but also provided by public service agents. So while I'm that is going to remind you, Mr. Berkowitz, that while you are claiming to have attempted to provide equal you've offered equal protection, but now there's a lack of providing it. You know what I mean?
I do know what you're saying.
Now, this thing says nobody should be trying to line their pockets by serving in a public office. Assemblyman Joseph Deeney Jr., sponsor of AB 450, at a joint hearing of the Senate Government Affairs and the Assembly Elections Committee, March 28, 1977. A public office is a public trust and shall be held for the sole benefit of the people. So when Nye County Public Service Agent Francis Hannafin attempting to get a restraining order against a member of the public to keep that member of the public from telling her that she's a cunt bitch like it's their right to do, is a unlawful act by Nye County, and this needs to be taken into a serious look. Like, what are you doing about misuse of appropriated sanctions?
Look, Mr. Provost Guard, there's not really anything I can do to resolve your concerns.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There's plenty you could do.
What do you think I can do?
Well, I know you can do things. I don't just think you can do things.
Yeah, but what are those things, Mr. Provost Guard?
What are the things you think you can do, Mr. Berkowitz?
I'm asking you. You're the
No,
one.
no. What
I'm
are the
asking
things that you
what-
think you could do in this situation if this was happening to you?
I don't think there's anything that I can do in this situation.
And why is that?
Because I just don't think that whatever you want me to do, I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, you're fully capable of doing. You're a public service agent under the United States ethics or executive branch. You have the opportunity to go and put a stop to bad guys, real bad guys, ones that are using county positions to create distrust in the community and to breach the peace.
I have done that several times career. However, I currently have an assignment that is
Accepting
not have me in
gifts.
that position.
Accessing unwarranted privileges. Contacting with the government entities. Contracting with government entities is a a public service agent getting a temporary restraining order against one of the public to do this. Oh, this is the important part of what I was calling you about, Mr. Berkowitz. The last Wednesday of this month, I will be going to my public building and I will be protesting at my public building. And I need one of your deputies to be out here because I have the right to protest. I have the right to be at my public building. And there's a public service agent, Renee Martin, that has placed a temporary restraining order against me unlawfully, unconstitutionally, and I'm gonna need the sheriff's department out here because I in fact plan protesting, and I plan protesting hard.
If you're going to violate the restraining order...
No, it's not about violating the restraining order. There is no restraining order. There's no restraining order.
You just told me there was.
No. There's an unlawful enactment by a public service agent to
There's a remedy in place to get that overthrown. Then a very easy and quick remedy if you believe it's unlawful. That's the appropriate way to handle that. If you believe that a judge has issued a restraining order unlawfully or inappropriately, you literally file a request for the review and the injunction on that, and it gets reversed.
I want your duty-bound help.
Okay, my duty-bound help is...
Yep, I want your duty-bound help. I want your duty-bound help. I want your duty-bound help as a public service agent seeking, upholding the public trust. I want you to back to when I have to go, I'm gonna have to go to Tonopah on the 25th. I want you to be there. I want you to be backing me up when I walk into the public courtroom. I'm going to be having my recording device, and I'm going to be recording my public matters in my public courtroom. And I want you there because there's we have the Mr. Stark on our last recording saying to turn off the cell phones before you go into the public courtroom. It's not the judge's courtroom. Judges have chambers that are back. The judge can go be private in her office all she wants, but Jennifer Clapper does not get to tell people how to dress. She does not get to tell people where to fucking record and where not to record in public. And we need deputies down there that are upholding the public trust and upholding the law, not the feelings of these public service agents like the Stark guy that was acting unconstitutional.
Hey, Mr. Probostard, I'm not engaging in that with you.
So you're not going to serve the public in keeping public service agents from unconstitutional actions that are unlawful actions?
I am not going to engage.
NRS.
On the topic.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that you're saying that. NRS 174015. Also, let me bring up the other one. NRS. NRS on court open to public. Okay, chapters 4, justice courts. I think it's 460 something, 4360. Right here, okay. Denomination of court. Court always open. Where held? The court's held by justices of the peace, which is Jennifer Clapper, are denominated justice courts. Justice courts have no terms and must always be open. So when Mr. Stark told my family to shut their phones off, what was that, Mr. Berkowitz? That was an act called prior restraint. That was a violation of the Bain Act. A law where your deputy sought to deprive my family of our right to record in public. And I'm going to make sure that that doesn't fucking happen any fucking further. Now, we have a court process against this public service agent, Francis Hannafin, on, I believe it's the, what?
25th.
The 25th.
The 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
That would be the appropriate place to deal with it.
Yeah, that's where we'll be recording our process. Making sure that Knight County is upholding the due process of law. When it comes to this stuff, Mr. Berkowitz, the reasons why these are... Hold on, listen. Okay, when we talk about this stuff, Mr. Berkowitz, this is what's referred to as conflicts of interest, okay? Conflicts of interest can interfere with basic principles of fairness, Mr. Berkowitz. Everyone having the same burdens and benefits in our society, Mr. Berkowitz. A public official may have many opportunities to take unfair advantage of his or her position or to gain a benefit at the expense of others, Mr. Berkowitz. When public officers and employees ignore their conflicts of interest, which you're doing today, Mr. Berkowitz, the public trust becomes undermined, Mr. Berkowitz. The public can lose faith in the integrity of government and the decision-making process. Is that easy to understand?
You lost trust in it long ago.
Now listen. A real or ignored wrong or other cause for complaint or protest, especially unfair treatment, failure to redress genuine grievances, okay? That's the definition of a grievance. This is what I was trying to find. This is the definition of a grievance, Mr. Berkowitz, and I have the right to protest. A real or imagined. And what were you just saying earlier about what I think? Oh, is that imagined? Is what I think imagined, Mr. Berkowitz? Yes, it is. A real or imagined wrong or other cause for complaint, Mr. Berkowitz. That's called a grievance, of which we have the right to redress our grievances with our government actors. Appearance of impropriety. An appearance of impropriety arises with an interest, private, personal, or pecuniary, sufficient to create in a reasonable person's mind a perception that the ability to carry out one's responsibilities with integrity, impartiality, and competence is impaired. Is that what's happening to you, Mr. Berkowitz? Are you impaired?
I'm not impaired.
I don't believe so either, Mr. Berkowitz. I actually believe you're a good man.
Thank you. I feel the same way about you.
That's about some bullshit, and you show that that's not true, Mr.
Not,
Berkowitz.
Mr.
Mr. Berkowitz.
You don't have to agree for me to think that you're a good person.
Mr. Berkowitz, where have you shown me that I'm a good person? I asked you to be over here to fucking protect my right to protest. Hold on. I asked you personally to be over here on the last Wednesday of this month to protect my protest.
That's not my job.
Protect my right to protest is your job.
Right. No, my
Yes,
job
it is.
to do what the sheriff allows me to do.
A protester has a right to be there at protest. A counter-protester has a right to be there. Your sole job is to be there and make sure that both parties are not removed from the situation, but remain separated. You understand that, don't you, Mr. Berkowitz?
I do understand your position. I don't agree with your approach, as I've told you many times.
These are written law, Mr. Berkowitz. So you don't agree with the laws?
I don't agree that your approach is to continually be like this when you feel aggrieved. I believe that you should abide and follow by the process that's in place to grieve those things.
Now listen to me.
I myself have been aggrieved by government.
You're so wrong right there. You're so wrong.
I address it and I resolve it. I don't
keep going, keep talking, because even after I tell you you're so wrong, keep talking. That's how I know that you don't truly like me. But now listen. The law and laws are written so that you don't get to enforce your opinions on me, Mr. Berkowitz.
I'm not enforcing anything.
Yes, you are. You're attempting to try to tell me that you're not going to be that down here on the last Wednesday of every month, which every American has a right to go down there. And you're
I'm not forcing anything on you at all.
no.
I'm simply telling you that I'm going to exercise my constitutional rights to do whatever I want.
No, but the only problem is you're not one of the people. You're an agent. You are the one that went down and swore to agree to all your terms, Mr. Berkowitz. You are the agent. You are not David Berkowitz. You are public service agent David Berkowitz at all times, even after you retire, sir. Why did he say he has done what you want done before, but now is... No, it's not about giving up rights. You swore an oath. You swore the oath. Do you want me to bring up the public service oath? Watch this, public service oath.
I swore the oath.
Yes, you did, because you wouldn't be able to be a public service without it. You cannot be.
I said I took an oath, but my oath does not include that I give up my free rights.
Yes, it does.
Just like...
I'll show you. I'll show you. Public service. Hold on, public service oath.
You want, but it does not.
See, this is why you've lost the distrust. This is why you are disqualified from employment as a government agent.
Okay.
You are disqualified, Mr. Berkowitz.
That's fine.
Then turn in your badge and gun and go and turn over your duties to someone else that's willing to do the job, and you go get a job in the private sector. Now listen to this.
Okay, I'll go do that.
Why did he say he has done? I'm gonna hold you to that. Why did he say he has done what you want done before, but now is in a place where he cannot help you? What the fuck did that mean?
What?
You said that yourself, sir.
Yeah, you said you would help.
You've done what he wants done in the past, but you're now in a position to where you cannot do what he's asking you to do. What the fuck does that mean?
That means my assignment is different than it used to be in the past. I'm no longer assigned in that role in the agency.
Check this out, Mr. Berkowitz. A school official includes a teacher, school principal, resident, chancellor, board member, trustee, registrar, counselor, admissions officer, attorney, accountant, human resource professional, information systems specialist, and support or clerical personnel. Okay, so that's what a school official is. If you work for a public school, you are a state employee regardless of the state. Is the State Department part of the bureaucracy? The cabinet departments are largest administrative units in the federal bureaucracy, have responsibility for broad areas of government operations such as foreign policy, Department of State and Law Enforcement, Department of Justice, Department of Education. These are all state departments under the federal executive branch.
I'm well aware who the State Department.
The state's Department of Justice, DOJ, also known as the Justice Department, is a federal executive department like all other state departments of the United States government, tasked with the enforcement of federal law and administrative of justice. What was that? You cut me off. What was that?
You eloquent. I didn't cut you off.
Yes, you did. I was fucking talking, dude. And you fucking started talking over me, dumbass.
Oh, well, at least you know how it feels.
Fuck you.
No, I'd rather not.
Fuck you and your feelings, Mr. Berkowitz.
Sir, listen. I'm not talking and swearing to you.
Shut the fuck up. You